My cell phone bill costs $1,038 for 12 months. To start off by creating our rate, we have to determine how are we going to set this up. So, having a unit rate, our unit rate is a special kind of rate, and it has to have a 1 in the denominator. So we could either figure out some amount of money for every 1 month, or we could figure out some amount of months for $1. If we're talking a cell phone bill costing some amount of money for 12 months, it makes more sense to figure out how much the cell phone costs for every month. Finding out the number of months for the phone to cost $1 would be part of 1 month, so that one is out. This gives us the labels, how we're going to set them up, and so now I can just take the information given and create the rate. We're going to put $1,038 in the numerator and 12 months in the denominator. I know I'm going to have money on top and 1 month in the denominator for the unit rate. So now we need to make 12 months become 1 month. Take a number and divide it by itself, and you get 1. So 12 divided by 12 will be 1. Whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So 1,038 divided by 12. I'm going to rewrite that over here. We have to work this out. Whatever we get here, we can plug in, and that will be the answer. That will be our unit rate. So we have 1,038 divided by 12. 12 can't go into 1. 12 now going into 10, it doesn't work either. So now we're saying 12 into 103. Well, 10 times 10 would be 100. We're working with something bigger, so maybe I try 12 times 9. Let's see what that gives us. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 1 plus 1 more would be 10. That's too big. 5 too big, so it'll be 1 less. That'll be an 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. So we now have 103, take away 96. I can't take 6 from 3, so I have to borrow, but I can't borrow from nothing, so I go even more. 1 will become a 0, then the 0 becomes 10, but we need to borrow again. It becomes a 9, and then 3 becomes 13. 13 now can be 6 can be subtracted from 13. So that will give us 7. 9 take away 9 is 0. 0 take away nothing is 0 as well. So we'll bring down 8. So we now have 12 into 78. So let's try 12 times 7 maybe. That would give us 14 and an 8. 7 times would be too big. So let's check what 12 times 6 is. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 1 plus 1 more is 7. We get 72. 72 is equal or less than 78, so that works. We have 6 and 72. Subtract. 8 take away 2 is 6. 7 take away 7 is 0. We're not done. I'm going to add a decimal. I need to bring the decimal up. And now I have a 0, and I bring that down. 12 goes into 60. I'm going to say 5 times. 5 times 2 is 0. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. 60 take away 60 is 0. So this value is what I take and plug up to go into the unit rate. it tells us it's $86.50 for every 1 month. That's what I have to pay for my cell phone bill.